Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Loshak in the Bag show. He's Jimmy the Bag. I'm Peter Loshak. Of course, doing this every Tuesday. Jimmy is so nice and gracious to let me open the show every week, which I really appreciate. So we're going to open the show today. Jimmy doesn't know this, but we're going to open the show today with Jimmy giving me some massive props for my call a few weeks ago on the Bucks to win the NBA title at -120. Remember, don't think I forgot about that, Jimmy the Bag. What do you think, Jimmy the Bag? Everybody laughed at me when I said, everybody laughed at me. They said the big coaching edge for the Suns, which I absolutely agree with, but it's not all coaching. The players matter too. A little bit, the players matter too. No, I mean, there was a time, for most of the past bunch of weeks, I was sick to my stomach about the fact that I made that pick officially and publicly. Now I'm gloating about it, though. What do you think, Jimmy the Bag?
I think you're in good shape. There is a enormous amount of pressure on the Milwaukee Bucks today. There's going to be 18,000 in the arena. The Larry O'Brien Trophy is going to be in the arena. There's going to be 65,000 people plus right outside the arena. And I am a little concerned about how they handle the pressure. But, these guys they're junkyard dogs. And there's toughness and size and hustle, and they wear down the Suns. And then they got Bobby Portis sitting on the bench waiting to get out there and do the exact same thing. So I think that you are in good shape. I've only made one bet on NBA in this game. I'm on a nice little run in the finals, and we'll go over that after we break down this very difficult MLB card.
Yes.
Pete, nice call on the Nationals yesterday. I know you were all over that. Yeah. You had a profitable day. So did I on our Saturday show, and I want to keep that going, Pete.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, the NBA, if it had been a bad pick, I would have tried to pretend like it never happened. But when it's looking good, I'm coming out gloating about it. It's kind of a low character move to gloat about a pick that you made, even if it hasn't, especially when it hasn't even won yet. But that's the Peter Loshak circa 2021. Low character. Gloating about picks that I've made that are looking good, trying to pretend bad picks and losing picks that I've made never even happened. You, Peter Loshak. Great to be back, Jimmy the Bag.
To all the cappers in the chat with us: Brian Watson, Chris Brady, Viper NB, Michael Irvelina took the over 21.5 points for CP3. This may be the closest he ever gets. If he's going to lose this game, I guarantee you that he loses on his terms.
Yes.
With him going out with a bang, so it's not his fault. Chris Brady in the house, my guy. Chris Brady, Fat Wally. I love that. So thanks, guys, for the breakdowns. Much love, respect. Press the like button. Chris Brady ready to get to work. Ixnizzle, Ohio's finest in the house, checking in from work. Thank you, Ixnizzle. We got Sammy Calmer, Slats45. Slats talking about will Price stay or go. We have the Seattle Kraken expansion draft tomorrow. And throughout my years of, from when I was 5-6 years old, just collecting cards and hockey stickers, when the Lightning and Senators came into the league, I was so excited. I did my own expansion drafts over and over and over and over again. Watching the Golden Knights absolutely, blow all our minds with such spectacular work in their expansion draft. I'm so excited to see what Seattle does tomorrow. Nigel Lee, DJ Big Boss in the house.
Yeah, DJ Big Boss.
Our guy. We got a great group of cappers in the house. Mike M, Robert Cherry, Birdie, Walla Walla, Dose Williams, Fun Videos, Dean Williams, by the way. So Dean Williams, OG Lowbagger, Pete, he used to catch for Ian Anderson of the Braves when he was in high school. They were a battery. He's on his way. He's a young man, very educated young man. He's on his way to Clemson for his PhD this year. Dean Williams in our chat. Yeah,
wow.
Impressive.
La-di-da. No, that's very impressive. That is very impressive. I'm just jealous. I'm just fucking
Ricky, Bobby, Turnsy, so many great cappers in the chat. We can't get to all of you, but very excited that you guys have all joined us on this big Tuesday. And this is a very tricky card, Pete. I'm looking forward to break it down with you. I've made one bet on the Detroit Tigers. That's the only thing I've done. There was 5 other bets I almost made, and the market was moving against me on all of them, and I thought, why risk it? Why rush it? Let's just break it down with the guys. Is there anything you've already done?
No, I just want to give a couple quick, give me a 15 seconds quick shout outs just to some people, because now I am plugged in, so hopefully I won't get frozen like last time, but I am looking at the comments now, which is great. Huge shout out to DJ Big Boss and that fucking guy Turnsy. Wow, what a call on Saturday, huh? I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Yes, it was sorry, Pete. Check. We have him hard lined in, so this should not be happening very much. But we lost him right there. Yes, Turnsey -1.5 at +175 on the White Sox, which was a very, very impressive call there. A lot of people talking about this Carey Price situation, the birdie, and talking about it with Slatsy. I don't see the whole deal. It looks like he's going to need multiple surgeries and isn't going to be available for at least the first half of the season, 50 or 60 games. I don't think any team would want to start their existence with that kind of a contract around his neck. But I could be wrong. I think it's a pretty simple. You're not going to. I mean, he could miss. I mean, the Canadians could go into the season without Weber and Price for the entire year. It looks like with injuries and all these things going on, but we'll talk more about that as the expansion draft pops off. Okay, time to get to work. We have special guests jumping on the show. I'm very excited about today's show. I'm very excited also to get back-to-back shows working with Loshak so we can get our rhythm together, and we're both coming off winning days on Saturday. Pete, we start at 3:37 p.m. Eastern. Oh, by the way, I had a 3-2 day on Saturday, plus 0.78 units. So I'm 0.13 units away from getting back to double-digit units up on the season, and that means a ton to me. So let's get right to work. Los Angeles Angels at Oakland Athletics, 3:37 p.m. Eastern. The Angels are 46-47, 19-25 on the road at the Oakland A's, 54-42, 29-24 at home. We are at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California, 62 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour out to left center. We have Jose Suarez versus James Kaprielian. Suarez 4-2, 2.29 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, 35 and a third, 33 Ks, 50 walks, 4 home runs. Last start was at the Mariners. He went 5 innings. He allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 Ks, 7-1 win. He looked good. Kaprielian's last start, an 8-4 extra inning win at the Rangers. He went 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs. There were solo shots, 4 walks, 4 Ks. He's got a 2.90 ERA, 1.11 WHIP on the season, 66 Ks in 62 innings. I have changed now all stats against righties, lefties, and bullpen our last 30 days. All stats have moved to last 30 days. We're that deep in the season. I'm not going to be – it's not important to me how things went to start off the year or even the entire year in total. We're doing last 30 days. I'm going to break down those stats in a second, but let's get Loshak's first look on this big afternoon spot. The first 5 total is at 4.5. It's climbed. It was open at Pinnacle at -115. It's now -118, so not much movement there. The full game look here, the odds have got – sorry, here we go. The odds – A's open up at -135. They moved to -147. A 12-cent move towards them, and about 60% of the books have gone from 9 down to 8.5. So we're sitting at 8.5. Pete, let's get this day started. Afternoon baseball. Suarez, Kaprielian, Angels, A's.
Yeah, I want to be really careful about my official picks on these shows. A lot of the bets I make are close to first pitch, about half of them. And this is the type of game that, a lot of times I will just stay off of until something that I see the last minute. A lot of these, Oakland Angels lines are very accurate. They usually have, Oakland's a small favorite and the total's 8.5 or 9. And usually that is with 2 standard starting pitchers, that's usually right where they should be. I guess I would have a slight lean maybe to the first half under and full game under at 9, but no official. I haven't bet it yet. No official play for me right now. I mean, both starting pitchers I think are solid. I think you're probably going to get 5 innings and 1 or 2 runs from Suarez, maybe 6 innings and 2 or 3 runs from Kaprielian. So it's going to be a pass for me.
Against Kaprielian, they're hitting 250, 3 for 12. But 2 of those 3 hits have been home runs from Walsh and Iglesias. Against Suarez, 167 with a 593 OPS. So the numbers that jump out here in the last 30 days, the Angels are hitting 265 with a 776 OPS versus righties. And the A's have not been hitting lefties at all. 223, 668 OPS. They've completely fallen off against lefties. And then from the bullpen side of things, you got this Angels bullpen last 30 days with a 4.94 ERA, 1.43 WHIP. And then you have the A's bullpen at 3.36 ERA, 1.13 WHIP. Very good, but they've only converted 3 of 10 save opportunities. Matty Ice started play of the days on the Olsen total base prop over 1.5 at plus 110. There's Mr. Gogster in the house, and he's getting a shout out from our birdie. Mr. Gogster has a new show, a golf show called The Back Nine, and it premieres tomorrow. And I can't wait to watch Mr. Gogster in action. Okay, so then we go to the cash flow here, and we see that there is 3,101 tickets in, 65% of the tickets on the A's and 91% of the cash. And then you have 60% of the tickets on the under and just 27% of the cash. Very, very strange. My initial feeling is that Suarez is pitching well. He's being able to get the A's out. The A's aren't hitting lefties. I'm getting a plus line on the Angels' first 5. That's my first feel, but with the market moving so heavy towards the A's, should I tread with caution?
I don't know. The lines look pretty accurate to me. If the first 5 total were 5, I might think about that on the under. That's all I really have to say about this one. The lines, there's not much to say as far as bet value is concerned, in my personal humble opinion.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a very slight advantage with the Angels at plus money on the first 5, but it probably isn't enough to fade the A's. The Angels 19-25 on the road. The A's just 29-24 at home. They actually have a better win-loss record on the road than they do at home. It opened at plus 124, and now it's at plus 135. I don't need to reach. I'm not sure how much action I'm going to have today, so I'm going to leave it at that right now. CT Base saying Kaprielian 1.38 ERA at home, 4 on the road. First 5 under 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't feel comfortable fading Kaprielian right now.
Okay, so it looks like it'll be no move. CT Base on that first 5 under. And let me just see that we're going to very close to moving on here. And I don't need to reach for afternoon action. I just want to see this market. Oh, it's a 3-cent move to the over 4.5.
I might, 15 minutes before first pitch, I might wind up taking the first 5 under. I could see that easily. I just don't really feel comfortable about it to make it an official pick now.
I hear you. Arthur Mead looking at the Oakland team total over. Professor Chris says my numbers show value for the Angels. He likes the first 5. Okay, and Hansel Matos looking at an Olsen Dinger. Arthur Mead Jr. also in the house, another OG Lowbagger. All right, that is game 1, so no moves yet from Pete and I. We have more afternoon action, 4:10 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City Royals, 37-55, 15-31 on the road at the Milwaukee Brewers, 56-39, 27-21 at home. We're at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 82 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour, sideways across the diamond. And Pete, this is a very interesting tale of 2 pitchers that I would think would have completely opposite numbers. Mike Minor getting absolutely destroyed of late. He's sitting with a 5.67 ERA, 1.32 WHIP. He allowed 6 earned runs in his last start at Cleveland. Wondering if he's dealing with some sort of arm fatigue. Did the All-Star break help him? Could it help him? I watch Eric Lauer pitch, and I think, how is this guy not getting destroyed? He could have been picked up by any team in the league for a cup of coffee. He came in 4 weeks into the season because Brewers needed help with starting pitching because they were dealing with a couple injuries on the back end of their rotation. And he was playing for his family. He was playing for a job in MLB, and he pitched very well. And he has continued that 3.83 ERA, 1.33 WHIP. Last start, he went 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run in a 2-0 loss at home versus the Reds. I do not want to fade Minor here. I do not ever want to back Lauer. I never, ever want to back Lauer, and maybe this is too extreme. This total sitting at 5. It was initially just a 2-cent move towards the under. It was juiced at minus 116, now minus 114. And to full game money lines and totals, let's have Pete break this down right now. Let's give him the setup here. We have the total opening up at 9. It's moved to 9.5 at Sports Interaction, which is interesting, and 9 everywhere else. The Brewers opened up at minus 157. They're now minus 167. Take it away, Pete. Minor, Lauer, Royals, Brewers.
Well, my numbers, it's one of those, the old doozies. My numbers say that at the current lines, there's a little bit of value with KC. My numbers say that KC should be a pretty significant underdog, but not as big of an underdog as they're currently being valued by the market, which is always a tricky situation. Making a bet where you're taking the team that should be a dog, you're expecting them to lose, but, they're getting a little bit too much disrespected by the market, and so that's where the value lies. You definitely shouldn't take favorites in those situations, but it's hard to pull the trigger on KC, and that's what we have here. So if you gave me a free bet, it would definitely be on KC. Lauer, definitely had control issues in his last two starts. I'm thinking about my numbers also kind of like the first 5 over and the KC team total over as well. Again, I have to be I'm much more risk averse when it comes to my public plays than when it comes to my personal bets. But my numbers like the first 5 over KC at plus 155 and the KC first 5 and full game team total overs.
Interesting. There is some confusion as to who the starting pitcher is. At the books have still listed Lauer.
Why is he? There was some thought that Brett Anderson might be pitching, and he was listed a couple places, but he's not listed on the books. So the books haven't COP'd it. They still got Lauer pitching at this point, and so at that point, I don't follow ESPN. I follow the books. So until the books change the pitcher, I'm not going to plan around it. So my plan is Eric Lauer, and there's a full market out. So I don't think that's going to change here. In the last 30 days, this interests me. Milwaukee Brewers are smashing lefties, 255 with a 783 OPS. That in and of itself is probably keeping me off this. Sean Higgs says Minor's been brutal, 7 ERA last 7, Milwaukee run line or nothing. I really think I'm hearing this from all angles, how bad Minor's been, and I don't trust it. The same reason why I wasn't fading Harvey every start. There's a reason why these experts are putting this guy on the mound every 5 days. They believe in them. So it doesn't matter what we see over the last few games or really even what your numbers are telling you to some degree when these experts getting paid a lot of money are putting these guys out every 5 days, and Minor could have needed the break dealing with a little arm fatigue. Isaiah Bolton. I just experts in many areas of life. There are many experts getting paid a lot of money who are A, full of shit, and B, complete morons at the same time. So that's in every area of life, not just MLB analysis. But yeah, I would say that, my numbers, yes, you're right. It's definitely the case that the All-Star break can unexpectedly hurt or help any pitcher in any situation. You see this every year. It's always a bit of an unsteady, educated guess to try to figure out how the break is going to affect a specific pitcher, especially someone like Minor, who has a history of doing okay and has been struggling. My numbers hate Minor, but they also don't like Lauer, and so the spot makes me nervous. My numbers like the KC team total over in the first 5 over.
It's a very interesting look. To me, this was a Royals or no bet situation. Isaiah Bolton, I just go to MLB.com and I switch the time frame from year to 30 days. You can go to 15 days, 7 days, whatever you want. Very simple to get the 30-day stats, and it's helpful, I think, at this time of year. Sean Higgs says the experts in KC who are sitting 37.55 are in last place.
Shout out to Sean Higgs. Yeah,
you're right, Sean. You're right. And then if you look at some added stats here, the Brewers bullpen last 30 days is by far the best in the league. 2.58 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. Royals bullpen 6.52 ERA, 1.67 WHIP. We're just 3 of 9. Let's just look at baseball data and look where the cash is, and then we'll move on here. Against Mike Minor, he shuts this lineup down. 213 average, 531 OPS. They're 10 for 47 with 9 singles, 1 extra base hit, and it's a home run by Jackie Bradley Jr., and only Taylor has seen Lauer. And then we go to cash here in this spot. And by the way, Razor Sharp picks in the house. He says Gambler's First Glance is coming very soon. Also, for you horse racing fans out there, Scotty Keever from Equine Edge will be on Razor's show tomorrow, which is going to be incredibly fascinating and so helpful, so educational. And they're going to be making bets, live betting the cards. So that's tomorrow. Equine Edge, the creator of Equine Edge, will be on Razor Sharp's show. So very quickly here, the cash in this spot has 77% of the tickets on Milwaukee, 70% of the cash, 50-50 on the tickets for the total, and 67% on the under. The more I talk about this, the more I want to take the Royals first 5, but I certainly am not going to do it right away. And if the market keeps moving towards the Brew Crew, you know what? Let me just take a very quick look at Lauer's splits. Pete, maybe I'm hanging on to this a little too long.
It's okay. Go ahead. We got a whole card, though. There's some interesting stuff coming up.
Yes, this will be the very last thing I do, because all I hear is people wanting to fade Minor here, and I think that this break could have really helped him out. The splits for Lauer here at home, if he's got mighty home stats, and he does, he's been great at home. Opponent's batting average of 227, 3.09 ERA. I guess this may end up being just a no bet for me.
Also,
right.
Take a look at the discrepancy between the full game money line for KC and the first half money line for KC. Someone thinks that the Royals are a much better bet on the first half than the full game. Notice that?
Yeah, and so let me just double check here. Let's see what that is exactly here.
Right. So I'm seeing. Yeah. What are we looking at? Let me all these lines here. I'm seeing plus 150 on the full game for KC, and then the first half is what am I seeing here? What am I seeing? First half is plus
125 to 130.
25, you know what I'm saying?
Bodog has it at plus 115. Very interesting. Lamont Williams in the house says parlay Mike Minor K's over, Darvish K's over, and White Sox money line. Okay, so Royals first 5 is a possibility for me. Let's continue moving, and we get to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Miami Marlins at Washington Nationals. We're at Nationals Park, Washington, D.C. 87 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 5 miles per hour to straightaway center. Trevor Rogers versus Paulo Espino. And this brings us to the say-hey play of the day. And we open with the mustache cam, which means the world to me. Jose, how are you, my friend?
We're doing great, Jimmy. Thanks as always for having me on. I appreciate. Hello, Peter. Again, just striving to get to your level. I have officially reached the hairs touching my lips portion of the mustache. So it's very nice. And then someone that I haven't seen in a long time saw me recently and freaked out when they saw me because of my mustache. So.
As they should. It's a good freak out, though. It's a respected freak out. Very interesting game that you have picked here, Jose. Trevor Rogers going up against Paulo Espino. Espino's being so bad. You have the Nats at home, and they opened as quite a big dog. Let me move over to full game money lines and totals and set you a table here for your say-hey play of the day. We have Miami opening up at minus 125, a 21-cent move at Pinnacle to the Washington Nationals. And you know what? That makes so much sense to me. So much sense. The Nats in their last 30 days are hitting 289 with an 860 OPS versus lefties. They're absolutely smashing lefties. Now, their bullpen's been atrocious, but they're smashing lefties. And Trevor Rogers hasn't looked quite as strong. His last start, he only went 4 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned, in a 5-4 loss at home versus the Braves. Now he heads out on the road. Jose, say hey, play of the day. What's your plan here, Marlins, Nats?
So I looked at it, and at first I was all aboard the Trevor Rogers train. I really thought that I was going to take Miami first 5 -1/2 at a pretty good dog price. But I really thought about it. I looked it over. I looked at the last 30-day stats. Wow, thank you, Puzzler. Okay, so I'm going to keep going on.
Please do, sorry.
So no, you're good. Thank you, Puzzler. I appreciate that. So the Washington Nationals have been the best offense in baseball the last 30 days and the last 2 weeks. They've been incredible. I was pretty shocked to see it. I thought that they would have a major drop-off with Schwarber, but I think they're all aboard this hot offense train right now, and I'm going to ride it as well. And I want to take the Nationals' first 5 team total over 2.5. Pretty low number. Pete, I heard that noise because I think this bet appeals to you. I've heard many rumors that you are a godfather of team total overs in the first 5. I've heard a thing or two, and this team total 2.5 is at plus 128. You know me, Jimmy. I love big dogs. Not really big dogs, but I love taking the plus money prices. So I will definitely take that, especially with the hottest offense in baseball and a struggling Trevor Rogers, who is still good, but I'll take that 128.
Extremely interesting spot. Pete, what do you think?
Well, I have no opinion on this one as of right now. I was all over Washington yesterday, and there's a lot of uncertainty here as far as my numbers are concerned. I'd love to fade Espino, but Miami's lineup is a little bit, iffy right now. I'm still leaning Miami team total over. I haven't made a bet on this one. I probably will have some kind of bet on this game by first pitch, but I don't want to give anything official that I'm disagreeing with. By the time the game goes off, so I'm definitely looking to fade Espino here. Rogers is a bit of a wild card, and he's also someone where I've got a big question mark. How will the break affect him? Unfortunately, it's going to have to be a pass for me as far as an official pick here is concerned, but. I don't know if I feel comfortable with the Washington team total over, but I hope it cashes. If you take it, no play for me.
That was not the confidence. I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
2,294 tickets counted in right now for this game. Not a ton of tickets in for today's card at this point. 45% of the tickets on the Nationals, 80% of the cash. So big bets being made on Espino and the Nationals. On the total side of things, this is interesting. 72% of the tickets on the over. 38% of the tickets on the over. 38%, but 72% of cash on the over, which should bode well for your team total. And shout out to Lamont Williams. Thank you for rolling through, my man, and sharing your action. So with all this being said, I completely understand this market move towards the Nationals, a market move that I've missed. And I'm not going to try to reach for it right now. Jose, Washington Nationals team total over 2.5 at plus 128. That's a big plus line for this spot, Jose.
That's what I thought too. But our friends at Pinnacle are giving that out currently.
Well, I guess it's because the first 5 total is 4.5, and they open as the underdog. Very exciting. Very exciting stuff. There you have it. The mustache play of the day from our man, Jose. Right. Washington Nationals team total over 2.5 at plus 128. Many blessings to you, Jose, and I hope you catch today, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Pete, as always. I think we should just take a second to acknowledge the chat as well.
Yes.
The chat has been flaming me, Jimmy, and I think you would enjoy this. MMA Locker Room Mills is feeling confident after the Yankees beat the Red Sox this weekend, so he's coming out with some good ones. The Mario asking me to fix his toilet, of course. Eric Thomas, shout out to him. And Jeffrey Slaughter, our friend and pal, $100 bonus if I wax my lip on the show. And I thought about it, and I said I'll need at least $250 to consider it. So we'll start there.
That sounds like a gambler.
We'll start there. He also MMA Locker Room chimes in with I look like Porky Pig off a spaceship.
My favorite one is the Buddha. That's my favorite comment of all.
Well,
maybe we can take it on the road. You could be the Buddha, and I'll be Cat Stevens. We'll take a handicapping show on the road. Handicapping with Cat Stevens and the Buddha.
Good. Yes, I know. I definitely know who Cat Stevens is. Let me tell you guys.
Oh wow! Look at that.
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Okay. Oh my God. Absolutely no idea who Cat Stevens is. Couldn't tell you what he or she does.
It's so funny.
And this is why the world is doomed. This is why the world is doomed.
It's a he/she, but we'll talk about it later.
Sing out. It doesn't sound familiar. All right, let's get back to baseball cap.
Well, give me another bar. Pete.
Yeah, hold on. Maybe I'll get it.
Okay, yeah.
There's a million ways to be. You know that there are. Forget it.
Okay.
Jose.
Wow.
Okay, Jose. Much love, man. Much love.
Thank
we
you,
will
guys.
catch you soon. Best of luck. There's the Say Hey play of the day and a little Cat Stevens. for you. That's team total over 2.5 at plus 128. All right, we move on. 7:05
knows who the Buddha is, quite frankly.
Yeah, we're lucky there even.
Yeah.
7:05 p.m. Eastern. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Phillies, 47-45, 20-28 on the road at the New York Yankees, 48-44, 25-23 home. We're at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York, 86 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 5 miles per hour to left. Aaron Nola going up against Domingo Germán, and this is a fascinating spot where I came very close to making a bet, yet I did not. Not only that, but we have a big surprise for all of you. This is a game where the Dirty K prop of the day is here, and we have brought him live here, and I can't, there we go, live performance. So please. Please welcome to the show, Dave Sharpie, making his betting with the bag, Loshak in the bag debut. How are you, Sharpie?
Oh, man, just got back from another hunting whale adventure. Caught me 3 BBWs last night, bro. Woo!
Oh, now you're talking Pete's language.
Man, Pete, it's
BBWs. What are they?
always 350 in this house. It's always on the BBW hour, brother.
Oh, man, I respect that very, very, very much. I respect that. Guillermo says, Sharpie, the BBW king. Okay, well, let's get right to work here. Aaron Nola going up against Domingo Germán. Germán's not being in the starting rotation. He was not looking very good. He went through that horrific offseason with the domestic dispute, and he's being despised by many fans across the baseball landscape. And now he lost his job as a starter. Is this the perfect spot for him to earn his job back? He hasn't started since July 30th. He went 3 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 walks, 2 Ks, and an 11-8 loss at home versus the Angels. His last appearance was a 1 hit and 1 scoreless inning and a 4-0 loss at home to the Red Sox last Friday, going up against Aaron Nola, who I don't know what to do with. I really think that he is a very skilled pitcher, and when I look at the 4.53 ERA, 1.2 on WHIP, I think, are we going to get value backing Nola right now? He's coming off a 15-10 win at the Cubs where he allowed 4 earned runs, 6 hits, and 6 innings. It was just a few starts ago when he went up against Taijuan Walker, and I was saying, well, we got the better pitcher on the mound, and he struck out 10 straight, and I haven't bet him since, and I don't know if I have confidence to bet him since. Let's go, Sharpie. What's your Dirty K prop of the day?
Dirty K, we're going straight to Aaron Nola, 7.5, and it's plus money, guys. Depending on your book, we're at plus 105 to plus 120. He's going up against the Yankees, who are at right now striking out at a 29% strikeout clip. They're missing half their team to COVID, guys, so it ain't the normal Yankee lineup. The last 5 games when he's gone up against a team 27% or higher, he's hit the number 4-1 with missing by the hook 1 time. He's averaging 9.5 strikeouts versus 27% teams. They're giving us a 7.5, and he averages 9.5. That to me is a smash, bro. Give me that 9.5. Give me the 7.5 plus 105 to the fucking bank.
To the fucking bank. Over 7.5 Ks at plus 105 for Aaron Nola. Pete Loshak, what is your view of Aaron Nola?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely getting the strikeouts. That I'm agreeing with, and I think that your bet probably is a little bit better than the one I made and the one I'm going to give. But I definitely jumped on the Phillies first 5 when it first came out at minus 135. Now it's up to minus 150. So, as it creeps higher, I like it less and less. But I'll make it an official play. Philly first 5 money line minus 150. I think that Germán getting crushed or Nola being lights out are both possibilities. There's a slight chance that Nola could get crushed and not get the strikeout number, but Germán could get crushed even more, and the first 5 cashes. But probably the strikeout prop is better than my bet, just because, as we've seen, Nola can get hit and still get his strikeouts, and so I agree with the strikeout prop as well. But my official play: Philly first 5 money line minus 150.
I get it. I completely get it. I came close to betting it. I came close to betting it this morning. I was going to possibly move on the Phillies full game last night. And in the end, I started thinking that Germán knows that this is could be his last chance to start all year. And everything's on the line. He's fucked everything up. He's messed his life up. He's messed his season up. And now his back is completely against the wall. And I laid off because of the juice. And also looking at how the splits, the splits ended up getting me off of the Phillies the most, because Nola just has not been strong on the road all year, but he has been strong in big game situations like this against the Yankees. Okay, we've lost Loshak. He'll be right back. We have him hard line, so I know he'll be right back here in a second.
I'm here again. Okay, I was going to say, I don't disagree necessarily with what you just said, but I think that the chances of Herman having a surprisingly great start are relatively equal to Nola having a lights-out start. So that's why I like Philly.
Yeah, I get that. The home and away splits, by the way, for Nola: at home 3.56 ERA, opponents batting .238. On the road, 5.40 ERA, opponents hitting .268, and that's what ended up keeping me off of it. But we have Sharpie, David Sharpie, coming to us live on Loshak in the Bag with Nola over 7.5 Ks at plus 105. Sharpie, where can the Cappers find you on Twitter, and what shows you have coming up?
I'll be on the MLB Closing Time show right after this on Pub Sports Radio. You guys can find me at Sharpie's Bets on Twitter, or Mr. Green Moon on Instagram if you need that. Cali Weed, I'm here. But yeah, I got my mountain climbing equipment. I got a BBW to climb. So you guys have a good day.
Oh man, what an incredible man he is! What an incredible man he is!
Hell yeah!
So much more than meets the eye from our David Sharpie. What a spectacular
entertainment! I approve of it.
What a spectacular debut here on Loshak in the Bag from our guy, David Sharpie. And then we also have Pete getting on the board. So at this point, I have not made anything official. Jose's on the Nats, team total over 2.5 at plus 128 for his Say Hey Play of the Day. The Phillies first 5, which is now at minus 150. So Pete gave it out at that price, but he bet it at a much better price. And then the Dirty K prop of the day over 7.5 Ks at plus 105. We move on to Boston Red Sox at Toronto Blue Jays. We're at Salem Field in Buffalo, New York. This Jays team, 22-21 at home, may be able to fix that home record once they come back north, where we can shower them with love. But there's rain in the forecast, a ton of rain. Not sure if this game's going to go off. It's supposed to start raining here at 1 o'clock and then rain all day and all night. We'll talk briefly about this spot. It was supposed to be Alek Manoah, but it's Thomas Hatch who will now be pitching if this game goes. In AAA Buffalo this year, he is 0-1. Now, it is, I believe, 8 or 9 starts, so 0-1, though. 2.15 ERA, 1.08 whip. He's been very good, 29 Ks and 29 in the third. In 2020, in the major league level, because he hasn't pitched in the show yet this year, but in 2020, he was good. 3-1, 2.73 ERA, 1.18 whip, 26 in the third, 23 Ks, 13 walks. He was a third-round pick by the Cubs in the 2016 draft out of Oklahoma State. Both bullpens are pitching strong last 30. The Blue Jays versus righties in the last 30, 278, 821 OPS. Red Sox 255, 778 OPS. And Garrett Richards, as soon as the Spider Tack stuff came out, completely fell off. He completely fell off, but his last 2 starts haven't been nearly as bad. He does have a 4.91 ERA, 1.68 whip on the season. It's just 73 Ks to 43 walks and 91 2/3. But last start, 3 earned runs, 5 innings, 7 hits, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and 11-5 win at home. First, the Phillies, Pete, let me give you a line, but I don't know if this game goes. The first 5 has gone all the way up. The total's gone all the way up to 6.5. There are some high totals here that kind of took me by surprise today. And then it's at 11.5 full game, juice to the under. Jays opened up at minus 130, now minus 131. Take it away.
I'm actually seeing rain late, so I'm thinking that this one is probably going to get off and get to the first 5. Kind of a no-brainer play here. I bet it. Blue Jays first 5 innings. The line I'm seeing right now is at Pinnacle minus 131, so I'll make that one an official play. I've been fading Garrett Richards, automatically for a while now. I believe a few times on this show as well. After what happened yesterday, obviously it's a bounce back spot for Toronto. I think I have tremendous respect for the Red Sox lineup, but all things considered, my numbers like Toronto here, and I agree with that in my gut. And so I'll make an official play, minus 131. Jimmy the Bag.
I like it. It makes sense to me. Against Garrett Richards, the Jays are hitting 309 with an 810 OPS. Against Hatch, they had 12 at-bats against Hatch last year, all of them 1 for 12. I mean, that was a different Red Sox team. But this, here we have Hatch pitching at his home ballpark where he's been pitching all year long. I think that's another little angle there. I think it's a great bet, and I'm going to jump on it. And Puzzler.
Sorry, I just checked the Pinnacle line for the Philly first 5, and it's 147 at Pinnacle, so I'm changing the official line.
Every last cent helps. Absolutely.
Every last cent counts. Yes.
Definitely. Puzzler says Jays used 8 pitchers yesterday, have a bullpen day today. Over 11.5 is plausible. And I definitely agree with that. Here's our guy, Dean Williams, in the house. Dean was live at Saratoga for our show Thursday, and my goodness, were we eating! Making tons of cash on Thursday opening day, Saratoga. I hope you did too, Dean. Dean says Red Sox are a big data team. Last year they struggled when they didn't have access to video and such that they normally did because of COVID. Limited scouting on Hatch will hurt Red Sox hitters.
Yes.
I like it. I'm in. Okay, that was not a planned move. I did not have that on my radar, but after hearing the chat, hearing Pistol Pete, I am going to roll with it. Now I'll have to see what the juice is associated with the Jays' first 5, because I may end up taking a minus half. Piker says market is moving to the Red Sox, though. Let's go over to the cash. Thank you for mentioning that quickly. We have just 327 tickets in, so I'm not going to be able to do that at this point. Okay, so he's saying that the market moving towards a 1 cent move to Pinnacle. Yeah, I need more info. Piker says a 20 to 30 cent move. I have a 1 cent move at Pinnacle. That's it here, a 1 cent move. Where do you see the 20 to 30 cent move, Piker? I'd love to know. Okay, there you go. Pete on Jay's first 5, and it makes a ton of sense to me. We move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. This was another move that I came very close to making, but I was too late. The first 5 had already gone from 4.5 to 4. And Piker says plus 143, now plus 120. Let me just pull this up again at Pinnacle. Sorry, money lines, full game. Yeah, I have Pinnacle opened at plus 120. It's now plus 121. Why don't I just check Bookmaker, make sure I'm not missing a big move here. No, nothing there. Let me check Bet Online. Yeah, Bet Online. Wow, okay, you're right. Bet Online put this out at 8:21 yesterday. And that move was made in the first hour. In the first hour, it went from plus 143 to plus 120. Interesting. Okay, let's move on to Orioles Rays. Thank you, Piker, for that. Yellow Jesus, who always has come to bless our pick, says Pete makes all things in life better. There's Jacksonville Zoe in the house. Orioles Rays. Orioles 31-62, 18-32 on the road. At the Rays 55-39, 28-18 at home. We're at Tropicana Field, St. Petersburg, Florida. John Means has been out of the lineup since June 5th due to a left shoulder strain. They're going to be keeping a close eye on him, so I do not think he goes deep at all. I would guess an 80 pitch limit. Last start was just 2 1/3 because of the shoulder issue, but he's had a great season. 2.28 ERA, 0.83 whip. Going up against McClanahan, who also has been good. He only went 4 innings in a 7-1 win at home versus the Jays, but the Jays smashed lefties. And he only allowed 1 earned run, 4 hits on 4 innings, 1.27 whip, 4.05 ERA. And then here it is, the Orioles versus lefties, they smashed them at the beginning of the year. Last 30, just 233 with a 662 OPS. And Rays versus lefties is improving, 232, 725 OPS. Orioles bullpen last 30 has been atrocious, but the Rays bullpen last 30 has been very bad, surprisingly. 4.48 ERA, 1.24 whip. Let's give Loshak a line and watch him roll. Baltimore, this total opens up at 8, goes to 7.5. As I said, that full first 5 went from 4.5 to 4. The Rays opened up at minus 185. They're now minus 194. A 9 cent move towards them. Pete, take it away.
Yeah, first of all, huge shout out to Yellow Jesus. Huge shout out to Yellow Jesus. All right, this one is this makes me nervous. I like the I like the Rays here. My numbers like the Rays here. My gut likes the Rays here. Of course, Means, we know what Means' deal is, right? I remember, and I think I was doing it on shows that I was doing. There was that year where Baltimore was losing every single game except for the games where Means would start. And they'd be like a plus 180 dog every single game, and they'd be a great fade even at plus 200 against any team in any situation except when Means was starting, and then they'd be a great bet on, especially first five, as a plus 200 dog. So here we are, Means starting again as a plus whatever dog, but I like Tampa Bay here. Anything under minus 200, I like. Means is a big wild card. I agree with you. He's not going to go too deep, and that obviously benefits Tampa Bay as well with their bullpen. So I think I'm going to do it. My numbers say just take the money line. My gut want just for my mental sanity, I kind of want to take the -1 line, but I'm going to make a pick on Tampa Bay here. I liked Baltimore yesterday, although I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger on it, so I didn't bet it, but I like them on paper, and I like Tampa Bay here, Jimmy the Bag.
Interesting. So, and I was going over your Saturday action, and you had a winning day, but the two biggest juiced spots you were on.
Fucked everything up, and I was just trying to get cute. I was, picking picks out of thin air, and not out of thin air, but I was like, I should have thought about it a little bit more. A big favorite with Singer, I took the team total under with him, and with a guy like Singer, I mean, I talk about it all the time. With people with uncertainty, you want to take underdog lines, right? You don't want to be taking favorite lines with an uncertain situation like that, even if your numbers indicate an edge, because the confidence number was very low on that one. So excellent point, Jimmy the Bag. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
But you still had a winning day, and that's all that is important. BetMGM, by the way, on this spot has it all the way down to 3.5 first five. Von Polo from Charm City, lives in Charm City. He has O's first five. CT Base has got it back, Means first five and fifth inning going to be key. Also, Von Polo just put out a new video with his car vlogs, and they're incredible. You can imagine the events he gets to go to in Baltimore. So check out Von Polo on YouTube. So, so you're going to take Rays with the money line?
I guess I'll take Rays. I'll take Rays -1. I'll use the Pinnacle lines right now. -194 on the money line, -103 on the -1.5 line. So I'll take Rays -1. If it's another, big favorite loser that screws up all my awesome picks from the rest of the card, so be it, I guess. My numbers really like the Rays here. I also have Means penciled in as having a short start, whether he's awesome or not. So I'm taking it. And I believe Kittredge is the guy who's going to be coming in.
Okay, we have a little stall there from Pete, but he's saying that Kittredge is going to be coming in right after. Let me just go over to Roto Wire and see. Pete's back. Finish that off, Pete?
McKittredge, he's the one who's supposed to come in, right? Afterwards?
Let me just
no.
See here. I don't know. I just have Shane McClanahan listed for me. I don't have a primary or anything.
All right. Well, I'm going to do it. Rays -1, -194 on the money line, -103 on the run line. That's Pinnacle right now. This might be a stupid thing to do, but I'm doing it. Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't even be the first time since Saturday.
Love it. We got 586 Soldier OG double in the house, and Dommy Ricci. Dommy Gun.
Oh, shout out to Dom Ricci.
Legend low bagger. Dom Ricci. Real Deal Prime. We got Calling Out Cap. A lot of great cappers in the house. Poker Addicted as well. Okay, so let's move on to a spot that threw me for a loop. This is this 7:10 p.m. New York Mets at Cincinnati Reds spot. Initially, I was like, God, Miley's been so good lately. He just shut down Milwaukee, and we went over how they've been hitting lefties the last 30 days. 8 innings, 7 hits, no one run, 3 walks, 4 Ks. And why wouldn't I back him here against the Reds team that smashes righties? But now that we're only looking at last 30 days of stats, the Reds are only hitting 246, which is a fine average, but 720 OPS versus righties. Their power numbers have gone down significantly. And then Reds bullpen 3.91 ERA, 1.43 WHIP last 30, better than the Mets bullpen 4.53 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. Robert Stock on the other side, who's not bad. I mean, they didn't plan on having him in the starting rotation. His last start was in a 7-inning doubleheader against the Brew Crew. He went 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and a 5-0 loss. So when the first thing that threw me for a loop and just made me say, stop doing everything and just talk it out with everybody on the show is I was surprised to see this total at 6 for the first 5. Not only that, but it was juiced to the under, and now it's significantly juiced to the over. So 6 first 5, I was taken aback. And then we have the Reds opening up at minus 154, and they're now minus 145, so a 9-cent move over to the Mets. I guess I'm lost for words. Do you have an idea of how to hammer this, Pete?
No, not really. There wasn't a line until I actually didn't even see a line until just now. It's a kind of a tough situation. So I agree with you that Miley is an interesting character. Pass for me. Total pass for me.
Total pass. Yeah, Miley's been someone who's always kind of hurt me. And Rich D says 15 pitchers used yesterday in Reds-Mets game. Real Deal Prime says Mets on the road. And then Bon Ricci says 29 runs in 3 games. Don't let out Mets starts the way they hit. They'll run away with it. And there's Birdie, our guy. Can't wait till NFL is back in action. Birdie, watch you rock. You were so good last year. So with that being said, I can't follow through with my plan. We have 67%, now only 1,904 tickets in, but 67% of the tickets on the Reds, 85% of the cash on the Reds, and yet the market moves towards the Mets. So it's a red flag. CD Base says Mets best record in team history at Cincinnati. So nothing for me here in Mets Reds, and that was not the plan. The plan was to back the Reds here, but I will not be doing that. Are you surprised the Mets are getting love here in the market?
No, not really. I honestly didn't even see the line until just now. Because I don't know when the line came out, but I was looking at it last night. I was like, I don't even really care what the lines wind up being. I'm probably going to stay off this game anyway. And I got nothing for you, Jimmy the Bag, on this game, but we got others coming up.
We do 7:10 p.m. Eastern. The Tigers is the only bet that I made, and I just missed the minus 105. Like I missed it by a few minutes. I got minus 110. Gave it out on the radio show this morning. It had moved to minus 115. It continues to move towards the Detroit Tigers. You guys know that I've been high on Screwball all year. 2019 Tigers Organization Minor League Player of the Year. He has not pitched since the All-Star break. So in April, he goes 0-4 with a 6.14 ERA. I told you guys, I was like, we're going to get value backing him. Then in May, he has a 3.33 ERA. In June, a 3.14 ERA. Then in July, he falls off, 6.55 ERA in just 2 starts. So then I think, well, will the All-Star break help him? His last start, he allowed 5 runs. Just 3 were earned in 6 innings at the Twins. These Texas Rangers versus lefties, just 234, 710 OPS over their last 30. And then Dane Dunning's been good this year. There's no getting around it. He's been surprisingly good. So at some point I decide, well, I don't know if I have an advantage anymore. I mean, who would I rather have on my roster? Obviously, I'd rather have Tariq Skubal, but where the way they're pitching right now, I don't know if I do have an advantage. So I look at everything else here. I see the Tigers last 30 days hitting 271 with a 774 OPS versus righties. This Tigers bullpen has a 4.49 ERA in the last 30 days, 1.30 WHIP compared to the Rangers, 4.92 ERA, 1.30 WHIP. The Tigers are 25-22 at home. The Rangers are 13-34 on the road. All of that then pushes me towards the Detroit Tigers. Pete, right now I'll give you a line and watch you make moves. The Tigers are now minus 118 favorites, and they actually opened a slight dog at Pinnacle. Take it away.
My confidence numbers on this game are almost close to 0, so it's just a pass for me. Skubal, it's hard to say how the break will affect him. It's entirely possible that he's wearing down and has some kind of slight injury that is going to affect him the rest of the way, or it's entirely possible that he's fine and going to go on a run of strong starts to start the second half. I mean, probably even his trainers aren't sure of that. Pass for me.
I understand. But at the point when I'm not sure if Screwball will be good and maybe Dunning will be better, I just think that the other things push everything in the direction of the Detroit Tigers. I don't care what happened yesterday. Remember, we're just focusing on everything as a single entity. I would prefer they didn't destroy the Rangers yesterday, but okay, there you have it. So I got the Tigers at minus 110, and I really believe I have a pretty clear advantage all around. Maybe not on the mound. Rich G says only way I bet the Tigers in this spot would be team total over. Their bats are hot. Rich G in the house, another OG low bagger. Pistol Pete Loshak brings them out. Bring them out.
Gee, yeah, that's just a help you cash. Definitely gonna be a pass for me. Dunning makes me nervous. He's kind of crafty. Had a good start against him last time, and I don't love how Screwball closed out the half. So
yeah, certainly was not very good last two starts in July. Okay, we move on to 7:20 p.m. Eastern. San Diego Padres at Atlanta Braves. So we have our man in the chat, by the way, TrotWAM in the chat supporting, and TrotWAM, I think is going to be on the NBA show at 4 p.m. today. So I was like, we should let him rock the NBA show. But he's in our chat. He wants to. He says if they want to call an audible, throw me on. Well, let's call that audible. Wham! If you're down when we get to NBA,
what a wonderful surprise! Hell yeah!
If you could jump on the show, we'd love to have you. And Jose, I'll send you a link. And shout out to Jose on the ones and twos. Okay, so there's a Canadian Capper 72 as well in the house. And Piker says Texas is the fadiest fade team on the board right now, running colder than me.
Yeah.
And TrotWAM says for sure.
In general, yes, I agree with that.
Okay, 7:20 p.m. Eastern, San Diego Padres 55-41, 22-22 on the road. And Matty Ice, by the way, is just waiting on some final odds and numbers before giving us taint, baby. The Braves are 45-47, 25-24 at home. Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. A ton of rain in this contest. I don't know if this goes off. 74 Fahrenheit, rain, 5 miles per hour in Darvish on the bump has not looked good. There was a lot of talk about his spin rate going down with the spider tack issues. His last start, he allowed 6 earned runs in a 9-8 win at home versus the Nationals. The Nationals are raking against lefties. Going up against Kyle Muller, 23-year-old Kyle Muller, drafted in the second round of the 2016 draft out of Dallas High School. He started 9 games in AAA, and he was good, 2-2, 3.92 ERA, 1.36 WHIP, 56 Ks and 41 in the third, and he's been good in the show. In the show, he's throwing 15 2/3. He's continued that high strikeout rate, 20 Ks and 15 2/3. Does have 8 walks, but 3.45 ERA, 1.09 WHIP. The Braves bullpen over the last 30 days has been quite a bit better than the Padres bullpen, interestingly enough. But Padres versus lefties in the last 30 days, 285, 864 OPS, just smash and grabs. So let's take a look at the market. This market was initially juiced to the under 9. It's now juiced to the under 9 still slightly. 5-cent move back to the over. And then the Padres opened up at minus 156. They're now minus 150 at Pinnacle. A 6-cent move over to the Atlanta Braves. Take it away, my man, Lodels.
This is going to be a pass for me as well. Again, a lot of uncertainty. Darvish, I assume that he's healthy, but he was having lower back issues, and that can be those can linger. Not exactly sure how serious those issues are long term for him, but if they are serious, they're obviously going to affect him. Muller, I like. Gets his strikeouts, doesn't go deep, but don't really like the Braves bullpen, and not sure I'd want to fade Darvish first 5, and then the rain in, total pass for me.
The rain does mess things up. Our man Millsy, MMA Locker Room, says, I'm on this Kyle Muller. He says he's a K machine. Braves chop on. Real Deal Prime says Padres 100% book it. The rain is an issue, and I'm going to just simply move past it. I
could see a first 5 under as a legitimate play if someone wanted to do that. That I was thinking about.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go. Let's just. Instead of me just rushing past it, let's just see where the cash is here. 1,437 tickets in. We have 75% of the tickets and 63% of the cash on the Padres, and they don't have the cash for the totals up at this point, so we'll just move on. Mike M says Atlanta's gone exactly the opposite way most thought after Acuna Jr. went down. They're running hot, and Darvish is on the struggle bus. And 387 says, true wisdom, Pete. Sue's another OG coming to us from Hawaii. Much love.
I don't just speak wisdom. I look like I have wisdom as well. Look at this look, Jimmy the Bag. All right, pass for me. I mean, if it just because the Darvish injury as well is a huge wild card. I don't even want to touch it.
Yep. Let's move on to 8:10 p.m. Eastern. We have the Cleveland Indians 47-44, 23-25 on the road at Houston Astros, 57-38, 30-19 at home. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. I expect the roof to be closed. When I hand this off to Pete, I'll do a double check, but all of the games have been closed there of late. Tristan McKenzie had that really strong start that I thought he might do after being back down in the minors for a little bit. They plan on having him as a key part of this rotation moving forward, and you spend a month back in the minors and you think, God, I got to make something of this opportunity. And that's what he did. 7 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 9 Ks, and a 2-1 win at home versus the Royals. On the year, though, 5.47 ERA, 1.40 whip, but he still has 68 Ks and just 49 in the third. Going up against Luis Garcia, 6-5, 3.06 ERA, 1.10 whip. 97 Ks and 85 in the third, 29 walks and 10 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 2 walks, 7 Ks, and a 4-3 win at home versus the A's. In the last 30 days, the Indians have been hitting righties harder, 236, 717 OPS. And the Astros, is that right? That can't be right. I've got to double check. I must have messed that up. Are the Astros really hitting that poorly against lefties in the last 30 days? I find that I have that they're hitting 233 with a 688 OPS versus lefties in the last 30 days. I find that almost impossible. I'm going to have to double check that right away. Astros bullpen being good last 30 days. Indians have been bad. Astros at 3.61 ERA, 1.27 whip. Indians at 4.87 ERA, 1.34 whip. Let's give the odds and watch our man Loshak roll. Here we go. The Astros open up at minus 170. They're now at minus 177, and the total here opened up at 9, juiced to the over, and it's now juiced to the under. Take it away, Pete.
Yeah, McKenzie, a very interesting case. Obviously, he has big upside, and some of his downsides, or not his downsides, but his mediocre sides, or maybe corrected in his last start. His 2 mediocre sides, I guess you would say, is not blazing fastball velocity and control issues. And obviously, he didn't walk anyone in his last start, or he walked 1 guy, or whatever it was. But more interestingly, his fastball his entire career has been sitting in like the low 90s, which is fine if you do other things like have good control. A lot of Indians pitchers like Bieber and guys like that had great results with low 90s fastballs and great control. But in his last start, if you're wondering what the hell happened there, his fastball velocity jumped up to like to 94. He hit 95 or something like that. And with someone with his makeup,
all right. Pete will be back in a second. He was on a real nice run there, and then we lost him there.
Oh my God!
Okay, you're back, Pete. You're back. You were on a really nice roll there.
That was vintage.
We talked about how.
All right.
Yeah, it's fastball velocity. We heard that.
Yeah, so the point is that if you're looking at this last time and wondering what happened, that's what happened. If that is in any way sustainable, he's going to take a full step up in terms of his results. I don't know exactly why and maybe his trainers know, I don't know, or maybe he knows, I don't know, but his fastball velocity was up 2 or 3 miles an hour in his last start, and if that happens again here, then he's a great bet as a big underdog here, even against Houston. So I'm very tempted to take him. And with a guy with uncertainty like that, but a high upside, you want to be looking at underdog lines. So it's very tempting for me to take him. On the other hand, he does have a history of control issues, and that's a killer for anyone, especially in the majors against Houston. I'm very tempted to take a shot with a great start by McKenzie again. And again, I have no real explanation for why. I mean, his strikeout rate is great. He has his numbers, if he can maintain that strikeout rate, will improve dramatically. But he's got to continue his mastery of his control. And I don't know what's up with his, if that was just a 1-start anomaly there. I still have to make a decision about it, and it's just going to be an educated guess as to, what to expect from McKenzie here. But his last start, his increase in velocity was eye-opening.
Yeah, I think it was my initial feeling was that McKenzie was going to be able to continue it, but the Astros obviously scare me. So a couple of mistakes here. For whatever reason, I said I had the Astros versus lefties, which is not the case. Obviously, McKenzie's a righty. In the last 30 days overall, offensively, the Astros are playing, much poorer than I realized. 233 with a 688 OPS.
Yeah, they're slumping. So, I'm thinking about the first 5 under, 5 at -125. Thinking about Cleveland, first 5 on the money line at +150 or plus a half run at +105. Thinking about the Houston first 5 team total under. If McKenzie's coming in and throwing 94, 95 again with decent control as he did in his last start, and Houston slumping, that's going to be a bad spot for the Houston lineup. So, I'm an inch away from taking the first 5 under at 5 or shot with Cleveland first 5 money line.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. I think I'm going to make some moves here. And by the way, the Mal, all you guys in the chat were right. They've now taken that Brewers game off the board. So it's not going to be Lauer. The Brewers game's off the board, so it is going to be Brett Anderson. So apologies. I always stick if a book is letting me bet it a certain way, I always have this idea that they have the most knowledge on the situation. So I just trust them over, say, ESPN. But that was a mistake. Great call on your guys' behalf. Okay, well, let's go to Baseball Data and see if we should fire away here against the. Sorry, where are we here? There's Dunning, Treat Scuball. The Darvish spot. Okay, against both opponents have not seen the pitcher. Both opponents have not seen the pitcher. I think that getting 5 is a really nice spot.
Yeah, Garcia is not bad either. Overall, I have him rated as relatively mediocre, but he's definitely capable of 6 or 7 innings and 1-run starts, though. There's a lot of my numbers indicate a lot of potential big value, but with low certainty. I don't really want to double up, but McKenzie, if he has a problem with control historically, and one start is great, but those control guys, in order to reliably bet that, you want to see a guy who really has consistent mastery of his control, not one start in a relatively easy spot where he, had a strong start and only gave up, 1 walk or whatever it was.
Yeah, going up against the Royals, a relatively easy start, absolutely. And Matty Ice saying that how good Garcia is at home.
Yeah.
At home, Garcia has a 2.50 ERA. Opponents are batting 201 against him.
All right.
I'm in.
Okay, first 5, under 5, -115, official play. That's the line right now at Pinnacle. If it loses, I'll be frustrated, but whatever, it's fine. First 5, under 5, -115.
I'm coming. I'm joining. And again, when on our our Saturday show, there was a couple spots that you broke down that you were iffy about, and I was like, look, this makes so much sense to me. I'm going in on them. And there was the main one was the Diamondbacks, which was an easy casher. There was another one I forget offhand, but it was the first under 5.5 in Phillies Marlins.
This one I feel more uncomfortable about because McKenzie's last start was awesome, but he definitely has not, proved that he can be reliable. One start, and before that, all kinds of issues. And Garcia as well. Garcia, has some nice positives to him, but also mediocre in general. So it's, I'm making the play. I hope that McKenzie comes in and is, relatively strong again. We'll see how it goes.
By the way, BetOnline's already moved this to 4.5. So that's, I do not like seeing that at all. Okay. So I might not be able to get at it. If it's at 4.5, I'm not going to bet it. And Mal, there are there's a lot of -125s, and even Bulldogs -130, but Intertops -115, Pinnacle -115, and Sports Interaction -111. There's our guy David Summers in the house. All right, let's move on. We move on to another spot where I was going to make a move on the White Sox. I saw the market move going to the Twins, and it threw me for a loop. You got 6'8" Bailey Ober on the mound. This is the third time in his last 4 starts that he goes up against this White Sox team that in the last 30 days is hitting .270 with an .837 OPS versus righties. That's a very tough situation. Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, Illinois. I got to stop everything because we got Lily Gunn in the house, wife, partner of Vegas Gunn, and she's just spectacular. So huge shout out to Lily Gunn. We love you so much.
Lily Gunn.
God, I love her. Okay, thank you for joining us, Lily. 80 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour, sideways. Bailey Ober's last start was at Detroit. He went 3 1/3, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 homers, 2 walks, 4 Ks, 9-4 win at Detroit. Ober's numbers: 5.45 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. I mean, smaller sample size with 33 innings, and he does have 37 Ks. Has allowed 9 home runs. Going up against Keuchel, who looked so bad till he got to start at the Orioles, who no longer hit lefties. He went 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 1 walk, 3 Ks. The Twins last 30 are hitting 241, 736 versus lefties. The Twins bullpen last 30 has been very bad, 5.03 ERA. The White Sox bullpen has been okay at 4.23 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, converted 6 of 8. So the first start he had against them, it was a 13-3 loss. It was 4 starts ago. He allowed 5 earned runs, 3 homers, and just 3 1/3. Now, that was at Chicago. Then he gets to face him again the following week at home. He goes 5 innings, 2 hits. It was scoreless over 5 innings. Now he's back at Chicago. Very interesting spot. And Gambler's first glance up from Razor Sharp picks it is Phillies money line at -125. Real Deal Prime says, White Sox, show me the money. That was my initial move. That was my initial plan. I can't wait to hear what Loshak's take is on this. I'm just going to give him a line and then watch him break this down. Here we go. We have it opening up with the White Sox at -170. They're now -142. A 28-cent move to the Twins. This total opened up at 9. It's now at 9.5 in most markets. Take it away, Pete.
Yeah, I'm guessing that move is because someone is announced out for the White Sox. It could be something else, though. I don't know. When the line opened up, it was similar to what was that other game that we talked about earlier? It was the game with the big underdog, where the Angels game, right? I think that was it. The Angels game, or so yeah, my numbers say that well, at least not now actually, but at the lines when I was looking at this earlier, that the White Sox should be a big favorite, but that there was a little bit of value with the Twins at the opening line. As of right now, it's just going to be a pass for me, and especially with this big move, which makes me assume that someone is out for the White Sox. Just a pass for me.
Yeah, this is another spot that if this was any of the 3 years prior to this, I'd already be sitting on the White Sox. Don Ricci caught the Twins at +190. By the way, the taint play of the day is in. I repeat, the taint play of the day is in, and it is in the Rockies game, which I find incredibly interesting as well. And I stopped myself from betting the Rockies last night and again this morning, like legitimately stopped myself from it. But taint play of the day is in right now, and we will be breaking it down once we get to that spot. But big shout out to Taint. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today, also on the White Sox. Let's just go over to a couple things. We'll go look at baseball data quickly. Against Keuchel, 261, 745 OPS. Against Ober, 242, 930 OPS. I mean, that makes some sense. What do you think? Third time seeing an opponent over 4 starts. I mean, isn't at some point? I mean, he's got that strange. He's 6'8", right? So he's got that. It feels like the hand is about to slap you in the face when he pitches. Yeah. What do you think of the third start and 4? Do you think that's a vulnerable spot for him?
It can be for certain pitchers. I mean, there's some guys like I'm trying to remember, like especially sinker, like Chen Min Wang. I remember people would always talk about how like they knew what was coming, they still couldn't hit it when he was on his game with those heavy fastballs. Yeah, Ober. This is. I mean, he's still going to be crafty no matter what. This is just a pass for me. I'm sorry that I don't have a more exciting answer for that, but yeah, it's a pass.
So this is a perfect example of the difference between this year and in years previous, as I would have already been on the White Sox and I would be looking at this move and don't have to have the deer in the headlights. All right. And Siobhan Town says Twins first 5. Okay, so no move for me. No move for me. Do you trust Keuchel's last start, by the way? Do you look at him moving forward? He looked so bad and then had a good one.
Yeah, my numbers are actually not so good on Keuchel, which he's kind of like one of my bugaboo starters. Like you have those as well. Yeah, I think he's probably going to be okay. according to my numbers. I don't really trust my numbers, but it's just a low confidence on this game overall.
And Matty Ice throwing out a parlay: Cards, D-backs, Dodgers, parlay them, he says, in the Diamondbacks game. I find fascinating. Okay, let's keep rolling. 8:15 p.m. Eastern next up. Chicago Cubs 46-48, 18-31 on the road at the St. Louis Cardinals, 47-47, 26-19 at home. Remember, we talked about gas station sushi flat betting the St. Louis Cardinals. He did so in the San Francisco Giants series. They won 2 of 3, both at big plus lines. They won again yesterday. 86 Fahrenheit clear, 7 miles per hour in at Busch Stadium, St. Louis, Missouri. We have Trevor Williams going up against who? Has it been announced to? Oviedo. Interesting. Okay, so that opens up at -109 now at -108. This total sitting at 9. Trevor Williams, very, very difficult pitcher to trust, especially just on the road, but anywhere. 5.51 ERA, 1.63 WHIP. Surprising amount of Ks for him because he's, soft tosser, 52 Ks in 47 and the third, 9 home runs allowed in those 47 and the third. Going up against Oviedo, the Cards are hitting just 240, 695 OPS versus righties over the last 30 days. And with the sticky stuff ban, we've seen numbers against righties skyrocket, not from them. The Cubs bullpen 4.94 ERA, 1.37 WHIP over the last 30. Cards has been much better. Nate Dogg says I'm leaning St. Louis. Do you have any feelings here, Cubbies Cardinals?
This one also didn't have a line before the show, so this is the first I'm looking at these lines. I was expecting Oviedo. My first thought, I'm going to have to run the numbers, but my first thought is I'm a little bit surprised the line is so low.
All right, we lost Pete there for a second. He comes back very quickly when this happens. Matty Ice says Goldschmidt is smashing now, and he hits Williams. DeYoung is fire right now, and he hits Williams. Pete, take it away.
Yeah, no, I'm going to run some more advanced numbers at some point later on today. I'm a little bit surprised, though, that St. Louis is this small of a favorite. My first thought is leaning St. Louis.
They hit 323 with a 934 OPS against Trevor Williams, and it's all the big bats that smash. And when you see this light of a line against a pitcher that clearly can get hit, is it a red flag, or you just need to run more numbers? Against Oviedo, by the way, 257, 725 OPS.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a red flag. I mean, I'm not. Williams is pretty vulnerable, but I'm not necessarily super down on him here. I'd expect 5 innings and 2 or 3 runs, something like that. At Oviedo, is roughly a wash. But my numbers like St. Louis right now as a team more than the Cubs. Yes, it's definitely a little bit of a red flag, but I guess I can see how the line does make sense. I'd be leaning Cardinals here.
Interesting. Okay, so no move for us at this point. We have 3 games left on the card, and then we head over to NBA, and we're joined by Wham Bam. 8:40 p.m. Eastern. Seattle Mariners 15-44, 21-24 on the road at Colorado Rockies, 41-53, 32-19 at home. It's 95 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 6 miles per hour out to left. Beautiful weather for offense. And I stopped myself twice from betting the Colorado Rockies. And this is, again, a mistake. No, I'm not saying it's a mistake, but I would have, 3 years previous, I would already be on the Rockies. But something just didn't feel right, and I wanted to talk it out. We also have the Taint play of the day on Rockies team total over 5.5 at -115. And interesting that Taint is not taking the Rockies, but taking their offense against Marco Gonzalez. So let's shout out Taint play of the day, Rockies team total over 5.5 at -115. That's available right now at BetMGM. Pete, I thought that look, the Rockies have been good at home all year, and Marquez has been excellent.
Yeah.
And the Rockies aren't hitting lefties, 234, 686 OPS. Mariners aren't hitting righties, 227, 699 OPS. That's past 30 days. Rockies bullpen's been much improved in the last little bit. And I was like, wow, I wonder if these 2 starters have really nice starts. But the 10.5 full game total moves to 11, and the first 5 that I was looking at goes from 5.5 to 6, and then full game for money line. Let's just take a quick look and see if the Rockies opened up at -165. They're now -183, so I could have got them at -175. It's only moved 5 cents Bet 365 to -180. Rich G says, I like the first 5 under 6. Marquez has been solid. Rockies bottom third versus lefties. Gonzalez should get through first 5. Ty Clinton says Rockies price is high. Take it away, Pete. Interesting spot, Mariners Rockies.
Yeah, I want to do a little bit more, research into Gonzalez to try to figure out what to expect from him. He's obviously, appears to be vulnerable. My stats don't like him. My stats love Marquez, and I've been betting on him, in most spots, and done awesome with him. He's probably the single most profitable starting pitcher for me all year in baseball. I was on that train from the beginning. I haven't bet this game yet. If I expect if I expect Gonzalez to get hit, then I probably would like the Colorado first 5 run line even more. I haven't bet it yet. Colorado first 5 seems a little bit too obvious, and the line might be a little high. Gonzalez, when he's on his game, he's also similar to Marquez. He's not as good as Marquez, but similar to Marquez, he can be good anywhere. You know what I mean? This is a guy who, in Colorado,
Pete, Yemen is shutting you down again here. Something that we will get fixed here. Okay, Pete's back. Okay, take it away.
Right back. All right. Yeah. Gonzalez is a guy who a lot of times looks a little bit more vulnerable on paper than he winds up being. So I want to do a little bit more research. This is a typical game where I'll probably be making a bet, half an hour before first pitch, and I want to look into a little bit more into Gonzalez to see if I can find out what his deal is, because he looks vulnerable on paper. My numbers like Colorado, even at the big favorite lines, but I want to figure out how I want to bet it.
If we were using our stats about, with full season long, we'd look at the Rockies versus lefties and say they hit lefties hard. And I was surprised to see over the last 30 that they're only hitting 234, 686 OPS versus lefties. Quite surprised. And Robert Cherry's action is in a huge amount of action. A's first 5 -1/2. Nats full game team total over 1/2. Jays first 5 -1/2. Philly first 5 -1/2. Tigers first 5 -1/2. Rays first 5 -1/2. Astros first 5 -1/2. Seattle first 5 +1/2. So, and then Richard G nails it by saying cold day in hell before I bet the Rockies at -160 or better.
Yeah.
Let's just quickly look at the baseball data, and then we'll go into where the cash lies. Against Gonzalez, only 4 Rockies have seen him. They're 3 for 19. Against Marquez, he's shut down this Mariners offense. I guess the weather's really nicely set up for offense. But my first instinct was to take that under first 5, and it went to 5.5 to 6, and I just stopped. I just stopped everything. Instead of, I just wanted to talk that with you guys. Let's just take a look at where the cash lies here very quickly. We have, see how many tickets we have in. We have 3,896 tickets in. All right, so tickets are coming in and being counted now. We have 59% of the tickets on the Rockies and 55% of the cash. But the market is moving in their direction. Then we have 48% of the tickets on the under and 97% of the cash on the under, but we don't know if that was at 10.5 or 11. Do you think I think both pitchers have an okay start here, but the weather scares me off. Is that fair to be scared?
That doesn't scare me off of Marquez. Until further notice, I'm expecting a good start from Marquez every start out against anyone. His pitch counts are low. He's very efficient. He's great. My numbers love him, and I've been betting him start in and start out, and again, mostly been doing very well with it. Just the big wild card here is Gonzalez, and I just don't have a good read on what to expect from him right now.
All right, let's move to 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Pirates, Diamondbacks, and I'm a little surprised Matty Ice thinks the Diamondbacks rake, because my initial thought was this might not be a bad spot for Tyler Anderson. And the Diamondbacks started out the year hitting lefties so hard, but over the last 30, just 235, 702 OPS. The Pirates are actually hitting righties quite well over their last 30 games, 263, 745 OPS. We're at Chase Field. The roof is closed. Anderson's last start, he went 5 innings. He allowed 2 earned runs and a 6-2 win at the Mets. It was a 7-inning doubleheader. On the year, he's got a 4.35 ERA, 1.19 whip. I do not know what to do with Taylor Widener. I haven't all year. A 6-foot-tall pitcher. We talk about those smaller pitchers in height sort of beating the odds to get to the show. He has a 2.54 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, 25 Ks and 28 in the third, 10 walks, 5 home runs. The Diamondbacks bullpen has been bad all year long. Pirates bullpen has been bad over the last 30 days. 4.92 ERA, 1.46 WHIP. Let's give Loshak a table that is set. Here we go. Arizona, Pittsburgh. This total opened up at 9, and there's been no movement on it. Under is minus 110. And then Arizona opening up at minus 109. They're now minus 105, Pete. Take it away.
Yeah, another one with low confidence numbers. Anderson, my numbers don't like him for this start, but my gut again. When I bet when I made my legendary pick on the Arizona Diamondbacks first 5 with Gallen starting, that was as much of a fade of the Cubs and a bet on Gallen as anything. I still agree with everyone who said that Arizona is extremely underwhelming offensively. So my confidence numbers are low here. They don't like Anderson, and my numbers kind of like Widener here. So my numbers actually like Arizona a little bit. I definitely haven't bet that, and I definitely wouldn't even say that I recommend that even as a lean. Probably going to be a pass. I'll definitely, if I have time, look into it a little bit more. It's going to have to be another pass for me.
The Pirates haven't seen Widener. The Diamondbacks hitting 257, 739 OPS versus Tyler Anderson. Dom Ricci says, my theory. I throw it April, May, and half of June. Dom, I was thinking about you, and I was like, why am I still looking at those numbers? Let's just focus on last 30. Thinking about you and Sharpie. I was thinking of both you guys, and I was like, let's just change that right now. Let's take a look at where the cash lies here in this spot. 1,550 tickets in. 53% of the tickets on the Pirates, 55% of the cash on the Pirates, 66% of the tickets on the under, 83% of cash on the under.
Yeah, my numbers also like the under as well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Pirates team total under is what my numbers like. It all makes me nervous. I definitely haven't bet it yet. I'm just letting you know what my numbers, which are not,
If they would hang me a 5, I would try to get underneath it. It's a 4.5 right now, just to the over. I'll just leave that as a lean.
I think I would actually prefer the full game to the first 5 anyway if I were going to take the under.
That's interesting. And why is that with how bad the bullpens have been last 30 days?
Because my numbers because my numbers don't like the offenses, but they also don't really like the starting pitchers either. So it's kind of ugliness all around. I like Widener more.
All right, let's keep rolling. We have one game left on the baseball card, then we'll move over to the NBA Finals. 10:10 p.m. Eastern, San Francisco Giants, 59-34. God, every time I say the record, I'm like, are you serious? At 29-21 on the road at Los Angeles Dodgers, 58-37, 30-15 at home. Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, California. 80 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 6 miles per hour out to right center. We have Alex Wood, and we don't know who Alex Wood is pitching against, and we still don't. So there's no line. There's nothing to help here. The Dodgers, though, I've been fading them against lefties, and one of Loshak's great calls on the Saturday show was when he doubled up on the under in the Freeland Buehler start, and I was only comfortable doing the first half. Now the bullpens did kind of show their weakness, and 11 runs were scored, but he cashed both, and the first 5 cashed nicely, but. Last 30, the Dodgers hitting 246, 780 OPS versus lefties. And Matty Ice says these Dodger hitters smash Wood. Both bullpens have been very good over the last 30 days. Do you see this as Wood being vulnerable when we find out what this pitching matchup is going to be?
Well, isn't it that guy Josiah Gray? Isn't he the one who's going to be, at least pitching a good amount of innings, if not starting? That's I'm seeing.
Josiah Gray.
I'm seeing that Bet Online has a minus 133 line for the Dodgers. At that line, I would be leaning Dodgers. Although the Giants with Posey back, and I think Mookie Betts is injured in sort of a significant way. So if he's playing, he might be hobbled, and we've seen how that can, the White Sox dealt with that with Abreu recently when they put like a big bat, a big name in the lineup who's actually kind of nicked up. A lot of times the offenses go silent, and that might be the case here with the Dodgers and Betts. But I'll see what the lineups are. This is one where I definitely want to see what the lineups are, who the starting pitching is expected to be for the Dodgers. It's a pass right now, but as of right now, I'm thinking maybe the Dodgers in some way, shape, or form. But we only have one book with a line out. Don't know what the lineups are, so it's obviously a pass as of right now.
333 batting average, 1.103 OPS against Alex Wood, the former Dodgers pitcher. Okay, so quick look at Rich G's card for today. He's got the Angels A's under 9, Orioles first 5 money line, Marlins first 5 money line, Mets Reds over 10.5, Indians plus 1.5, White Sox Twins over 9, Mariners Rockies first 5 under 6. Oh, he is moving on that. Diamondbacks first 5 money line. Interesting. He is moving on that. That correlates with the way Rich G taking that under 6. I've been very hesitant to go against market moves, but the times where I finally built up enough confidence to do it, I've had success. And Rich G on it as well. I'm going to put a question mark right there. Is that something that I like from Rich G? Chris Brady's on the Diamondbacks, Angels, and under 11 in a parlay. Matty Ice says Dodgers team total has to be a look. Okay, so let's review action and then move on to Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The Suarez Kaprielian start. I'm still looking at that first 5 under 4.5, and I am interested by it. Pete didn't move on it. May make a move last minute. Do we have any more movement there? No, it's more movement to the over. I should just stay off of it. Okay, then the Royals' first 5 would be because now it's Brett Anderson, so that's a whole new situation. Because I was fading Eric Lauer. Brett Anderson is a different situation, so I'm going to move that here. Mally Mal says I'm about to make a move on that first 5 under. TC moves. We go in order, so we opened with that game, and Pete didn't make a move, and I'm interested in that under 4.5. Pete, any more time to sit on that Angels A's spot? Not comfortable?
It's just the line. My numbers say that the lines are pretty close to being on. Again, kind of my numbers look at, I've seen from Suarez 5 giving up 1 or 2, Kaprielian giving up, going 6 and giving up 2 or 3. So whether they give up 1 or 2 or 2 or 3, that's the difference between winning or losing a first 5 total or first 5 money line. Just looks like the numbers are pretty much dead on to me. I would have a lean to the under though on the first 5 for sure. And if it was 5, I'd almost certainly give it as a play.
Yeah,
I mean, both these starting pitchers, my numbers are liking here. Not lights out, but solid, reliably solid. So
the say hey play of the day is the Washington Nationals first 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 128. Then Pete makes his first move on the Phillies first 5 at minus 147. That correlates with the Dirty K prop of the day. Sharpie came on live with us today. He was excellent. He's on the over 7.5 strikeouts at plus 105. Then Pete is on the Toronto Blue Jays first 5 at minus 131. I'm going to run with that. That was not a plan that I had before I came in. I'm going to move with that. Rays minus 1 is a move that Pete is on. Mets, Reds, we stayed away. I'm on the Tigers minus 110. That's moved to minus 120. And it's a spot I like quite a bit. It's the only bet I made before the show started. Padres, Braves, we are off. Then we have a first 5 under 5 at minus 115 from Pete in Indians, Astros. And although we don't know if McKenzie can continue his excellent play, I like this look. I like Garcia at home. I believe in McKenzie. So I'm going to also move on the under 5. But it had moved to 4.5 at a couple books, and I'm not sure. I'm not going to bet it at 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, velocity upticks are usually fundamental. You know what I mean? So, yeah, anyway, go ahead.
No, I like it. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is on the White Sox. There's been a huge market move towards the Twins, and it's not a move that I am making. Thank you, Cheshire Cat, my man. So let's keep moving on here. 8:15 p.m. Eastern, we're kind of interested in the cards, surprised at the market move, and I don't know if that's going to end up being a red flag for us. And Pete's still got to run his numbers because we found out Oviedo was pitching late. Then we have Matty Ice's tank play today. Rockies team total over 5.5. And now that Rich G is also moving on the first 5 under 6, I'm very interested in that first 5 under 6. And I think I want to make a move. I think I'm going to make a move on it. I'm going to make a move on the first 5 under 6 on that spot. Then the next spot, Pirates, Arizona Diamondbacks. That first 5 under 4.5 is somewhat somewhat interesting, but probably not enough for me to pull the trigger. No move on Giants Dodgers. Does that all sound right?
Yeah. I'm just looking at I'm just wondering if I'm not having ball because, I'm just, because I'm risk averse. I feel much more comfortable giving plays that I like that are favorite lines than underdog lines because there's a lot less volatility involved in favorite lines. But, I'm definitely thinking maybe first 5 under, Angels and Oakland at 5 minus 124. That's definitely tempting. What else is interesting? I'm thinking, I'm going over the card here. I'm looking, the St. Louis line. Not exactly sure why it's so low. So my initial thought is that St. Louis might be a play there. And then also, once again, liking Marquez a huge amount, close to loving Marquez a huge amount, despite the fact that he's at home in the weather. And then Gonzalez a big question mark, but wanting to bet on Marquez to have another good start in one way or another, and maybe to bet on Gonzalez to have a bad start, as the taint play of the day is. So it's an interesting card. McKenzie, Josiah Gray for the Dodgers, the Arizona Diamondbacks. What's up with them? A lot of interesting shit here, right, Jimmy the Bag? Darvish injury. The return of John Means, who used to be a great bet as a huge underdog for Baltimore. Another start from Garrett Richards. Tarek Skubal, what's up with him? Aaron Nola getting hit but getting a ton of strikeouts. Fascinating card.
I was so excited about breaking it down with you and everybody in the chat. Diesel Eugene has a great point. He says Kaprielian's an Orange County guy. I expect he comes to play against the Angels today. I'm very close to moving on it, Diesel. Kevin Riley says, Jimmy, as everyone was on Phoenix Game 5, you know that I was not on Phoenix full Game 5. I spent a ton of time breaking down why I wasn't. But he said he was on Milwaukee in Game 5. Great job, Kev Riley. Dom Ricci saw Baltimore first 5 Nats full game and Yankees full game and the Diamondbacks. And Chef Big Hat says, whoa, my first low bag in years. Thought you guys were gone forever. No, we're not gone forever. We're very happy to be back. And
I'm on the opposite side of Dom Ricci, a bunch of those things. That's not good.
Not good. It's a scary place to be. Okay, we are going to let our man Turnsey, Windsor's finest, right across the Detroit River from sweet, sweet Detroit, Michigan. He is Rusty Kuntz, play of the day. Chris Paul over 21.5 points. Rusty Kuntz, play of the day, sitting at 8-3-1, and a little dono. And that's how confident he is. Look at Turnsey. And a little $5.49 dono there. Oh, Canadian Capper's a Windsor boy, too. You guys got to get together and hang, man. There's a lot of great cappers in that area. You guys got to get together and hang. So Turnsey is on Chris Paul. Let's bring in our NBA expert. We called an audible to bring the man in, and I'm so excited to have him in. I love him dearly. Coming to us live from Long Beach, California, by way of Compton, California. Please welcome to the show, TrotWAM in the house.
Yes. Oh, yes, it's always good. It's always good to be here with you guys. Glad to be coming out the bullpen, bro. I'm feeling good, man. Let's get it done.
Yes,
looking good, TrotWAM.
Very pleasant surprise to have you here, Wham. So a lot of my thoughts on this series haven't changed. They have just kind of been cemented. But the situation has changed enormously. So I look at these two teams. I see elite playmaking ability from the Suns with Booker and with Chris Paul. I see Booker playing in a fashion that reminds me of when the Bucks are playing poorly. And Giannis is putting up 40, 45 points, but he's not getting everybody included. The team becomes stagnant. When I saw Booker in that ISO in the most important possession of the year, I got these horrific nightmares of seeing DeRozan in that exact same situation with the Raptors. And now we see Giannis on the other side playing the best basketball I've ever seen him play, including everybody, hustling at all times, not allowing easy buckets. And I see a team of junkyard dogs on the Milwaukee Bucks. You got Drew at 6'3". You got Middleton at 6'7". You got Tucker at 6'7", but he's got 250 pounds. He's got some big hips there. You got Giannis at 6'11". The only guy who's not the tough, scary guy is 7'8", won 282 pounds in Brook Lopez. And then you got Bobby Portis sitting on the bench just waiting to get out there to attack. And they're going to wear you down. They're just going to wear you down is the way I see it. And now the Larry O'Brien Trophy is here. And there's 18,000 fans inside, 70,000 plus outside, and a ton of pressure. I've already made one bet, and I'll get into how I'm going to be attacking this, but I badly want to hear your thoughts here. Game 6, NBA Finals. Let me just give you a line here to start. It has been at 5 for a long time. Has anything changed right now? Let's find out. We have
Slight move
on
to
the
the
board.
4.5 now.
4.5.
Slight move to the 4.5. Very interesting there. Very interesting.
And the total, a couple 221.5s on the board. We've had Chris Brady in our chat, very confident in the over. Take it away, Wham Bam.
I was just to bring up that for the over there. I'm thinking under here, but that's not what we here for. That's not why I'm here. Last game, I was with you, Jimmy. I wasn't able to get on the show with Babano and the guys, but I was with you. I thought the Bucks were going to win the first road game of the series, which they did. Here, I think the Suns can do the same thing. We have to have them extend this series, right? But they threw an audible just like me coming in here. They threw Scott Foster when it is public knowledge, very widely known, that he does not do good with CP3. Well, CP3 does not do good with him in the lineup. I think it's 0-12 Mike M is putting in there. It's even worse. I think it's 0-6 when he's on the road in the playoffs. But that being said, I don't think that's the way the NBA wants to end this game. They don't want to end this series with some shady ref situation that everyone knows about. And would it be even better? Now I'm just talking narratives here, but wouldn't it even be better if Chris Paul was able to rise above this 0-12 record and tie the series up here? That was my thought process coming into game 5. So I thought Scott Foster was booked before he was even announced. I knew he was going to play today. But the thing that threw me off was the 4.5 that we're seeing now. Because my thought process, and now that it's trending on Twitter, Scott Foster and everything, I thought everyone was going to be gun-hold on the Bucks. They've been playing well. They've been out-rebounding these guys. Except for last game, they had about a 3 of offensive rebound difference. Prior to that, it was 12 offensive rebounds difference, 7 and 7 in the games 3 games before. So my thought process here hasn't changed either. We still got to see the role players from the Suns play big. Last game, they were miniature. Cameron Payne only had 6 points. Usually he comes off the bench and gives you a little bit more spark. He didn't have that. Jay Crowder started off well, got them the early lead, but he only had 10 points. All of his points were scored in the first quarter damn near. I think that we're going to see him play a lot better. Devin Booker continued to play well because Monty already alluded to him being okay with him doing that ISO ball that had you cringing, thinking about DeMar DeRozan. He said that he's okay with that. But I think he alluded to a little bit more that these guys, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, those guys are going to have to step up on the road. This is a big-time game for everyone involved, not just Chris Paul, not just Devin Booker, but DeAndre Ayton as well. I'm thinking here, which I haven't bet yet because I want the line to move. I want the line to move against me. I want the line to move against me. I want a plus 170 on the money line. I woke up, it was plus 160. I could have got it at plus 165 last night. I thought the Scott Foster news was going to make the public push it there. I was talking to my guy Skis, like, this doesn't make any sense. Make this make sense. I don't think that the Bucks want this to happen, bro. I don't think they want everyone to bump on the Suns. Move it a little bit here. I'm taking it. I'm taking it all the way. I'm taking the money line on the Suns. I'm not afraid of the road team in this series. I'm not afraid of the Drew Holiday explosion that he's been on the last 2 games. I'm not afraid of Middleton at the house either. I think that this is going to be a Suns spot all the way. I agree with your first quarter. I agree with the first half, but I'm taking the full game. I'm taking a money line. No fear. Dropping 2 units on it, bro. No fear, bro.
Woo-wee. Oh man, that was exciting. Very exciting. There's lots of great points coming in from the chat, and my bet is I'm on the Suns first quarter at +1.5. I really expect them to come in very focused, and I expect there to be a ton of weight on the Bucks' shoulders. And of course, if that is the case, then it correlates to the first quarter under, which I told everybody to stay off in Game 5. I wish I had the balls to say take the over, but the under had been hitting in the first quarter. We've been cashing, and I was like, okay, so let's talk about a couple of things, and then let's hear Pete's take. First off, Michael Iravalina took the Suns to win the series at +315. Is that not part of your plan if you like them to win Game 6?
So I wouldn't go ahead and jump ahead here because it's game by game. It's the reason why I think that the Suns would be getting pushed towards like a 5.5. Thought it was going to be like 6 when I woke up. I thought that was going to be the case because a lot of people are wrapped into the recency bias that, you know, the Suns can't close out the games. The Bucks won 3 games in a row. So I wanted to take it one game at a time. And as far as, and honestly, if I win this bet, bro, I'm probably not even going to bet the Game 7. I'm probably not even going to bet the Game 7 because I'm killing already. I hit the Drew Holiday scored the first basket last game. I should just leave the NBA alone. I should just leave the NBA alone at this point. Well, but again, I agree with the Suns to ripe it out, but I think Pete future with the Bucks is still live. I just don't think it's going to cash tonight.
Interesting. Jace Gum says I took Suns +5, and now I'm thinking adding Suns money line after Wham's breakdown. Nate Dogg says Suns can't stop Milwaukee big. 61% of the tickets on the Suns, 63% of the cash on the Suns, and that's with 16,619 tickets in. We have 51% of the tickets on the over, but just 38% of the cash on the over. Pistol Pete Loshak, Game 6 NBA Finals.
Yeah, I mean, I vaguely mostly agree with everything that you guys have been saying. As a bet, though, I was thinking maybe it's like super obvious, and I don't like it that the first 2 games in Milwaukee were relatively low scoring in the first half. But I was thinking the no-brainer play would probably be first half under, right at 109, right? The Bucks know they want to close it out here. The Suns don't want to lose, right? We can confidently say that. So I was thinking about the first half under 109, and I also agree that the Suns are going to come out and give 100 whatever over 100% that they have in the first quarter. So I was thinking Bucks first quarter team total under 28, which is at Pinnacle and Heritage, a few other places. So I agree with you guys for liking the Suns. My sense is that, I mean, we might see, things might open up. We see a 75-point third quarter, but it's got to be a cautious game, at least to start, right? So maybe the first quarter under is better. I don't know. My sense is that, and I'm going to bet these, first half under at 109, Bucks first quarter, team total under 28.
Like that.
Interesting. I think these first quarter unders make so much sense in situations like this.
Do you think that do you disagree that it's going to be like a tense, conservative, defense-oriented, slower-paced first half or not?
I think it's going to. I think what you're saying is going to go right with what it did the first game. Milwaukee only scored 21 points in that first quarter. They kind of held those guys in check early on. Now, it was an eruption in the second quarter, which wouldn't be something that you want to hear there. Because they had 43 points in the second quarter. I don't think that's going to happen again either, though. So, but I would agree with that under, though, because as far as like 28.5, I'm not even sure that these guys even got up that high in the first quarter. As far as I'm looking back at these games here, it looks like, Milwaukee had 20 in game 4, and they had 21 in game 5. So that's kind of correlating to what they already been doing. They haven't been scoring that much in the first quarter anyway. So I actually like that play.
Is there any reason to think that the Suns will be like, all right, if we want to win this game, we got to run, and then they're going to come out and try to play like a super fast pace in the first half? Is there any reason to believe that? Or that the Bucks will say, we got to close it out now, and the only way to do that is to run. We got to play a fast pace in the first half.
No, because what they're doing right now is kind of already working. They won 3 games in a row. I don't expect them to change anything. So it should kind of correlate to what you're saying with the under there in the first quarter. And honestly, the first half as well. And it's been cashing, but except for last game. Last game it didn't cash because it was a big over there. But in my opinion, I think that was kind of an anomaly. I think we'll see more of a tighter game, especially in the elimination game. It's my only way in looking in this total is under here, in my opinion.
I would certainly want it earlier rather than later.
True.
Earlier
Especially
rather
after
than
that third quarter, man.
You think Williams is going to try to be like, let me give them something they're not expecting and play some super fast pace or something like that?
I do think he's going to have the role players. He kind of alluded to the role players playing a little bit more better. He didn't want to be cruel, he said, and just blame it on inexperience. He said, it's just a lot of jitter is there, and the guy's just missing assignments, blowing up coverage. So that kind of would even again go towards that under. These guys should be in the right position. I think Cam Johnson, Michael Bridges, who's been playing really good defense, Michael Bridges, no one's talking about it. He's been playing really good defense on Chris Middleton. I kind of think he's going to do that today here. So I like that under there a lot, actually. Early, the number one I like out of those plays would probably be the Milwaukee under in the first quarter.
Yeah.
That seems like the best one to me.
Official play here. Official play on the low bag show. First quarter under, and I think Pinnacle has like 107 or something like that. So I'll make that the official play. Bucks first quarter under 28 minus 107.
That's a big number for the Bucks to have. I'm shocked, and I'm going to go over and see what I have, because in Game 5, the Suns were at 26 and a half, and I was like, man, look at 24 and a half, you get plus 155. Now they took a shot with 23. They had 23. They took a shot at the buzzer and it missed. But I'm gonna see what I get, because that just seems alarming.
Oh, I got that too. Yeah, I'm gonna take that too, bro. I got 28 at minus 115, but I like that too, though, man.
Yeah, it's not going to. Last time I got cute like this in the NHL playoffs, I got super burned. But I'm on this one myself. 28.
I got 28 and a half, but it's at minus 130. Wow, that's
very crazy. Yeah, I'm taking that 28. I'm gonna add that to the card too, bro. So it's only 2 plays for me, man. Taking that money line, which I haven't played it yet. I just took the 28 under just now. I just think I could get better numbers. I mean, what do you guys think? You think I should lock it in now? Think the number, because as far as the line, based on you guys' experience, would you think the line would move? I thought that the line would move because, everyone is scared to bet with Chris Paul, with Scott Foster reffing, which I don't think, even if he wasn't reffing, I believe that this would have been a Sun spot regardless.
Oh, very, very interesting. Logan Collins in the house. Logan Collins, big boy bets. Jesus, alarmingly big boy bets. And coming off a tough day, but he's been fire in our chat on the show. Kev Riley has a look here. He's Suns first quarter, Bucks first half, Suns full game, which is incredible. Incredible. It's Britt says, is looking at Phoenix on the money line. Eric Rosas, our man Eric Rosas, hit a deer in Glenwood City, Wisconsin on Saturday. I don't know if that is a sign.
That is a sign.
So interesting here. I want to just kind of break this down a little bit further because I find it so fascinating. T. Nice says Bucks come out aggressive, attacking the basket between Holiday and Brook. I wouldn't take them first quarter under. I think they're going to do that as well. My thought is that they might not shoot at a high percentage in the first quarter with so much on the line, and that just from the perimeter. So I also see that. And if the Bucks are focusing on getting down low and getting at 8 and trying to get 8 in the foul trouble and stuff like that, I also think that kind of is correlated to the under, because I don't see them shooting lights out from the perimeter in the first quarter with all of their dreams on the line.
Man.
Do
you guys think I should still wait for that money line bet, or should I lock it in? I'm starting to feel that me waiting earlier probably was a mistake. I could have got it at plus 165. Could have got it at plus 170 yesterday. So I'm starting to feel like I may have missed my opportunity here. But my idea was to wait and see what the late movement does. Do you guys think I should lock it in now at plus 160, or just wait a little bit until before Kit,
it went up 2 cents about an hour ago, and then came back down to plus 167. No, I think that there's a lot of people who believe in the Suns, and I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. But I do think that they're going to come out very focused and look good early. I just don't. The Bucks are. They're playing with so much hustle and they're so big and fast. And when I talk about junkyard dogs, I mean, at least the Suns have Jay Crowder. They have one guy who I think is very tough, and they'll put his shoulder in anybody's chest. But they don't have enough of that. And you're talking about Mikal Bridges' defense as being very good, but Cam Johnson, they don't have enough toughness. They don't have enough toughness at this point. And Preston Ekdahl in our chat, because in our basketball shows, the whole chat in Game 5 was on the Suns, but Preston Ekdahl was on the Bucks, and he says Bucks blowout win.
I was with you, Preston. I was with you on the Bucks, bro.
Johnny K says Suns smash spot. Mike M says Suns ran out of gas. They ran hard all year, but it's done tonight. Just nothing left in their tanks. I think that I'm shocked that they're hanging at 28.5 for a team total for the Bucks. I'm shocked. I think. And then the first quarter, I think that would be better because you know what wouldn't surprise me is the Suns shoot 60% in the first 5 minutes. Locked in, focused. Everybody against us. We're supposed to lose. We're expected to lose now. We have no chance in Milwaukee.
Yeah, all the pressure's on the other side.
Ooh, okay, very, very interesting. So let's just take a little dip in the player prop market. Anything that you're looking at, Wham Bam?
So what I was looking at was probably the usual suspect, Connaughton over 3 points. I believe I was at 2.5 now, if I'm not mistaken. 2.5. No, I'm sorry, 1.5. I think he gets 3 though. I think he gets the 3. So you possibly want to get the plus money there, but it's at minus 165 or minus 160, juiced very heavily there. But he's been almost automatic as far as Connaughton on the threes. I think Cam Johnson gets there. At minus at 1.5 as well for the 3-point prop. But one thing I got was concerning me, and that one thing I did lose with, and I'm probably going to go back to the well with, is the 8 and over 12.5 rebounds. Got to 10 last game. I think he could get to this point here. I believe it's an under game. Last game was an over game, so that's why it wasn't that many rebounds. I think he's going to get over this rebound total here. So those are the ones that I would look at if I was to bet anything there. But again, I'm not betting anything but the money line and that under now. I'm taking that under 28 in the first quarter for the team total Bucks.
Yeah,
but those are the only looks.
I think Lodell's nailed that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jimmy, I did the same thing in the NHL playoffs. Remember, I analyzed the game. All the implied bets won, and the actual getting too cute bet that I made lost. Remember?
This isn't cute, though. This isn't cute. This is ugly and readable. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then there it is. My whole big fear is I have to, not get too cute. But if TrotWAM says it's not cute, done. That's the play.
Someone did say Peter was cute in the chat, though. I forgot which one that was, but
no,
I don't think he would talk about this play.
This is not cute. This play is not cute, so I have nothing to worry about. Then, bam, we did it. Thank you, TrotWAM.
I love it. So let's review our NBA action. We got Logan Collins asking about spots on MLB. So, but we got to go. We have 1 minute. So I'm going to do a quick review of MLB real quickly. We have the big CMAC show. CMAC will be a Sharpie. Babano is on vacation, but he's not boozing heavy. He's not in a ditch somewhere because he'll be on our NBA show at 4 p.m. Wham, can you review your NBA action?
Yes, I'm riding with my guy Peter Loshak. Great call with the under 28 in the first quarter. I love that look a lot. Correlates with what they've been doing over the last 3 games. They haven't went over that. As far as the money lines play, haven't locked it in for the Phoenix Suns yet, but I'm guaranteed it will be locked in before the Pub Hub show today that I will be on with Jimmy. I believe Babano will be on there as well. I'm not scared of the Suns being able to win on the road like Bucks did. This will be a Game 7 game ending on Thursday, a week before the draft. Sounds good to me, man.
Pete, we all tailed. It looks like we're all tailing the team total for the Bucks first quarter.
Oh no! Well, no. Yeah, if it was just me hanging out there, it'd be one thing. But TrotWAM says it's not cute. Nothing to worry about.
And is that your only action? Or are you going to take the full first quarter under?
What, me?
Yeah.
I am going to bet the first half under as well, but that one because I could see this game way opening up in the second half as well. Yeah, I mean second quarter as well. So, I don't.
All right, Yemen does not want Pete to be heard here. He's running so hot. So Yemen struck down with mighty force. All right, we've got to go. Just Wham Bam, stay here for a second here. Let's just review action real quickly. Jose's on the Washington Nationals team total over. First five team total over 2.5 at plus 128. Say hey, play of the day. Pete's on the Phillies first five minus 147, and the dirty K prop of the game is the strikeouts over 7.5. Plus 105 from David Sharpie. Pete's on the Jays first five at minus 131, and I'm going to jump on that too. That was not part of my plan. Pete's on the Rays -1, and then Mets Reds we stayed off. I took the Tigers last night at minus 110. I like that spot quite a bit. Then Padres Braves no action. Pete's on the first five under 5 in Indians Astros. If that's available right now, I'm going to bet it. And then Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today's on the White Sox. Matty Ice Taint play today's Rockies team total over 5.5, and I'm about to move on the under 6 there. That is our action. Wham Bam, let the guys know. First, let me give a shout out to Pistol Pete Loshak. What a treat it is to roll with you on Tuesdays. We love you so much, and we love having you back in action.
I love being here. Shout out to everyone.
I love that so much. So there he is, Pistol Pete Loshak. Follow him on Twitter at P Loshak. And then, Wham, can you let the guys know where to follow you on Twitter and let us out of here?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I'm Walter Trotter, the Son, TrotWAM on Twitter. Hoopbanging Sports Talk, Wham Talk Wednesdays. We will be having a little bit more baseball breakdowns there. And I'm always here and always ready to lock in with my guy, Jimmy. You know where this is the only channel where you can get legendary shows, pub sports, Jimmy the Bag Show, Peter Loshak, Ski Prophet, Babano, C-Mac, Dutch Boy, Fresh. It's only right, man. Leche. And loads of bookmakers.
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.